Yeah, I'm going to admit, I was gone for a minute there. I caught a stomach flu bug, which wasn't good by all means. Had some vacation time scheduled, had the holidays, but we're back. When you come back from something like that, you need to go big, right? Well, yeah. Hey guys, it's Josh at Kenworth of Richfield, and thanks for hanging in with me while I was gone. Like I said, some vacation time, other things. Unfortunately, the videos didn't happen, but we are back. We're back with a vengeance, and we're ready to cover a lot of good stuff. If this is your first time here, by all means, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for coming along for the show. In this 2020 T880 6-axle. These are some of the fun ones for me. I really love this truck. We're gonna get in and I'll show you why, what features this truck has that makes it the right truck. You need a dump bed. You guys know how this works. I'm gonna start at the front, work my way right to the back. Very tip out here, we have tow pin. Because it's a dump truck and you never know where it's gonna go and where you might need to pull it out of. Now, the truck does have lockers in the back, but once again, we've seen what you guys get into. Here's a step if you need it to get up, grab a hold of the hood. Kenworth has their wire mesh grill here. I know I've talked about this a lot. Ton of other videos I talk about how rocks, nothing's gonna go through and damage any of this. Keep that in mind when you're looking at your next truck. Composite reflector headlights, they do a great job of getting light down the road and staying focused. Let's keep working our way back. So on this side, we have a whole slew of things that we're going to cover. Some of it we're going to get a little more technical than normal also and explain some reasons behind. So this should be fun for us. I think I'm going to stand over here. So we're going to start bottom up on this side over here. Alcoa aluminum wheels on this. This is a 20,000 pound front axle, 20,000 pound front suspension. You know how this tire setup works. Now, one thing that you may not know with this tire setup is we've gone with the Bridgestone on this. This is rated for 68 miles an hour. About a year ago, Kenworth swapped over to, they will only allow the speed limiter to go up to the speed of the lowest rated tire. So the rear tires on a lot of trucks are rated for 74 or 80 miles an hour. It's the fronts, when you get into these wide base tires, there is so much tire here and so much inertia when this thing gets spinning that the speed ratings stay much lower. So with this being the lowest speed rated tire on the truck, that's what the truck's limited to. We cannot, Kenworth cannot, change that. Now, is it possible to go into a computer and get it changed? Possibly. It's not something we're gonna do. So, just realize on a new truck, the tire choice, some of it you're gonna need to keep track of what the speed rating is on the tires. Now, we've got the nice wide fender flares here, wide base tires. Obviously, we want to keep from throwing stuff all over the roads, people, cars, etc. These are LED marker lights or turn signal lights here on the fenders. I love the way these look. Kenworth's had these since this truck came out, and I still think they look really, really good on it. Now, another piece that not all the trucks have, that's a touch that we do on some of the nicer ones, is this chrome bezel around the outside here. If you look, some trucks have it, some trucks don't. It's an inexpensive option, and to me, that little bit of chrome up there adds that nice little touch to it. This truck has the visor up top for you, because It's a T880, it's vocational, and it looks good once again. There's dual air horns up top. We've also got 5 marker lights for you there. Over here, we've got the SCR set up as the toolbox cover. And on this truck, there's the valve here for the heated bed, but we're gonna get into that in just a minute. So over on this side of the truck, things are, for the most part, the same as far as the cab goes. We've got the nice chrome strip here, LED, fender flares. Underneath, got our engine heater plug. We've got the pressure control for all 3 of the pusher axles on this. Once again, factory installed pieces on this make for a really nice, clean installation on it. Down below here we have, it's 90 gallons worth of fuel. On top of that, we have the DEF tank, which is actually pretty nicely tucked underneath the cab, kind of in a wedge shape between the cab and the fuel tank here. It's a great way to get it up and out of the way, which gives us that chassis space, so that way we can have the heated bed setup over there and still keep the batteries on the outside of the truck. Underneath here we've got an air tank, and I guess I'll come back and kind of cover one of the big things with the batteries on the outside of the truck here. When you put the batteries inside the truck in one of the toolboxes under the seat there, you actually have to run an AGM or an absorbed glass mat battery. Those don't really vent, those don't let off any gases, whereas a normal battery will let off some gases, which is why you need it outside the vehicle. When we can run this under cab DEF tank setup, once again, like I said, we've gained that space over there, or we've gained the space over there for the exhaust. A lot of trucks we would put the battery box over there. Well, now we can put it all on this side. We can save you that money from having to run those AGM batteries. So when you look at it, you may think it's just something that we do for the sake of doing it, but really this is actually for space, and it actually ends up saving you quite a bit of money in the truck, not only when you purchase it, but down the road when it needs new batteries. Now, speaking of the batteries, there is also battery jumper terminals under the hood on this truck too, in case you let her sit a little long and need to use those. So let's face it, one of the reasons why we all love this industry is power. This truck's got it. It's all supplied by a Cummins X15 engine. It's 485 horsepower, 1,650 foot-pounds of torque. Now, what's behind that may surprise you. Get a guess? This truck uses an 18-speed Ultrashift Plus transmission. We have found that the 8LLs in that all work great, but if it comes to speed and getting there quickly, the 18-speed is a great transmission for that. That is the transmission that I used for the test that I did back, what was it, March or April of this year, where I compared the manual and the automated transmission. You know, the one that made you all mad? Yes, this is that same transmission. Me personally, I love it. It's got 18 speeds to choose from. It always knows the right one to be in. If you work with it, it works wonderfully. If you try and work against it, it ends up being like your ex-wife. I mentioned that we were going to talk some about the bed, and well, here it is. This is we'll start with this part. It is a 21'6" Heritage, says so right here, steel body. Now what's on the back, we'll get to that in a second here, but up front, this does use a heated bed setup. It's actually really simple. There's a valve in this box here for the exhaust. You want the heat in the bed, flip that, the exhaust comes through here, through those pipes, runs along the floor of the bed, comes out at the back. It gets the bed that little bit of heat. Now, there's a number of applications where this is good. Asphalt, if you want to keep that warmer. Another part about that is that a lot of guys say that if you're running just even dirt, release is a lot easier out of the heated bed. I'm not sure quite why that is, but I'm going to take everyone's word for it. A lot of the other stuff, you notice, I can explain that. I haven't experienced it. So if you know how that works, put it in the comments below and we can all learn from it. As we go further back, I know guys sometimes say, it's a white truck with a silver bed. The two things that I like about this is obviously it's going to hide the dirt. So even when it's super dirty and nasty, it's not going to look all that bad. The second part about this is it is a great base if you want to add your own flair to it. To wrap this, it's not that expensive, especially with the way wraps are nowadays. To get this wrapped, to get maybe the front end of the truck wrapped, you're not looking at a whole lot of money, and suddenly you've got something very individual, and you haven't really depleted the resale value at all because you just peel it off when you're done. So as we go further back in this, we've got Goodyear Endurance RSA tires on all the pushers. They're 22.5 inch. When we come all the way to the back here, we've got Bridgestone M799s. Those are 11R 24.5s. All this is held up by a Chalmers suspension. Just so you know, on this truck also, all 3 pusher axles, Watson and Chalin's, they were installed by the factory for us. So we've got her spun around, and now it's time to talk about what we've got at the very back. Now, don't be disappointed. That doesn't mean we're done with the video. I'm just, you know how this goes. This truck has a single coal chute at the back. This truck also uses a dual swing tailgate. So, if you hit these releases, those are air powered inside the cab. Gate will swing open from the top. You can dump just like normal. This bed, the overhang with it, is similar to the ones that we use with the angled back for the asphalt also. So you can use this in this application, and it actually works really, really well. On the flip side of that, there is a lever on this side. You can pull that. That releases the hinge, or that releases the pin over there. These 2 hinges let it swing open like a barn door. That is handy if you've got big chunks. These are very commonly used in demolition. You get a big rock in there, a big chunk of concrete, whatever. It may stick if you've got a top swing tailgate. This gate swings open from the side like that. You get a clear path to go right out. Now, on top of that, there's this roller and this ledge here. So obviously, as the years go by, gate swings closed, it will line up, still let you latch up at the top, and then you relatch it again here at the bottom. Once again, really nice setup, super easy and super simple to use, and it's that thing that I've talked about here over the past, 6 to 8 months that we try and get in almost every single one of the trucks that we sell: versatility. It's that ability to do every job and do it well. So let's take a look inside, shall we? First off, you guys all know how much I love the interiors of these trucks, and I was kind of thinking about this the other day, and I think one of the reasons why I do like this interior so much, it's car-like in a sense. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to get, I don't want to say mad at me for saying that, but really, I mean, when you look at the car that you drive when you're home, and think about how many miles you put on in that car, it's comfortable, it's quiet, and I mean, that's some of the main things that you're looking for, is that comfort and that quiet. There's not really any wind noise, there's not really any road noise, there's not really any engine noise. And I mean, okay, if you've done stuff to make engine noise, then that's fine, but you get what I'm saying. In this truck, it's very much the same thing. All of those noises are very muted. You could still hear the engine, you know it's on, but it's not this rattling your brain all day long. I know some of you guys like that, and that's fine. But a truck like this, you get out of the truck at the end of the day, you're just not as tired as you would be in something where it's rattled your brains out. Now that I've said my piece on that, this specific truck, it's the usual Kenworth fare in this. Power windows, power locks, power heated mirrors. The mirrors have that mount on the outside that you guys have seen me do chin-ups from. Smart wheel on this truck. It's not the leather-wrapped smart wheel, it is just the standard smart wheel. Once again, still a really nice place to put your hands. It's very comfortable. Your hands just fit on this wheel no matter where you want to put them. They just fit. This, with it being the automated 18-speed transmission, shifters here on the gear, or the shifters here on the steering column. Once again, it's all fingertip reach. The Jake brakes right here, all fingertip reach. You've got your switches down here, your ABS switches, your traction control, your pusher axle switches are here, your axle interlocks are here, your PTO switches there, headlights are up there. We've got a nice complement of gauges. Those are the differences that do a couple of things. They make you less tired at the end of the day, and it just shows how well built of a machine this really is. Those are two big things that are pretty important. So as I was starting to think about what I was going to say to finish this video off, I was going to start out by saying, hey, I really like this 6-axle dump truck. I like all the 6-axle dump trucks. And then I realized, I guess, that pretty much love all the trucks that come through here. But really, there's something that I love about each one of them. It's a little bit different. The 6-axles, whether it's a W900 or the 990 or one of the 680s. They've all got their own niche that they fit into, and this obviously fits into that niche of hauling a lot of stuff. So in that, what's your thoughts on these trucks? Would love to hear it. Do me a favor, put that in the comments below. As always, give me the thumbs up if you feel I deserved it. Stay safe out there. Keep it rubber side down. Catch you guys on the flip side. So let's face it, one of the reasons why we all love this industry is power. This truck has it, 485 horsepower and some torque, 1,650 pounds of torque.